First, my approach is I would say that I brought here the piggy bank. This
Oh,
is a
wow.
piggy bank for, yeah, this is a piggy bank for my son. So every time he has a coins, he would put in this piggy bank. Now it's a little bit heavy, so you know that there's quarter, loonies, toonies, cent dollar, this dollar. Even my sister one time she put there cent dollar. That's $100. So this one has there's valuable money on it. So in relation to NCLEX, I would say that study every day, consistent, even just 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, online review, reading. You consider those, it depends on the quantity. Sometimes you spend only like 30 minutes. Consider
Mm.
that as quarter. You spend more, consider that as a loonie. We call it loonie, the $1 coin, toonies,
Mm.
the $2, and $5, $5. It depends. But in the end, every time you store in your piggy bank, and on the day of the NCLEX, you will break your piggy bank.
Wow.
And yeah, so that was it. That's my approach. Every day I see to it that I have, if I need to wake up early morning or stay late at night, I would put something in my piggy bank. So that depends again with my schedule. I will adjust my schedule accordingly, but I am consistent that every day I made sure that there's something I'm putting in my piggy bank, and that really helped me on my NCLEX. On that day, I broke my piggy bank, and I stopped, guys, at 85.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to IPASS Online Review and Mentoring Academy. My name is John, and I'll be your host for tonight. Here at Hope Talk, we invite successful IPASS Online Review candidates in the NCLEX to share their wonderful stories and learnings from their journey in achieving the goals of becoming registered nurses in the USA, Canada, and Australia. Each student here has a story to share, a narrative of challenges encountered, lessons learned, and milestones achieved. And with that, I would like to introduce to you our newest NGM passer, Miss Nancy Domingo Padilla, USRN. Hi, Ma'am Nancy.
Hi, bonjour, hi, Sir John. I'm so speechless right now. When I heard, yeah, it's overwhelming.
We're currently located, Ma'am Nancy.
Currently, I'm in Montreal right now. So bonjour, hi. I just woke up like a few minutes ago. Bonjour,
It's
hi.
early in the
So
morning, right?
yes, early in the morning here. My colleagues here in Montreal, bonjour, hi. Vous allez bien?
Those are French, right, Ma'am Nancy?
Yes.
Wow, amazing. Ma'am Nancy, how are you feeling after passing the NCLEX exam?
So Jan, it's only I passed the NCLEX on June 11, last month. So I'm still elated.
How was the feeling after passing the NCLEX exam?
As I said, it's overwhelming. I'm very happy. I felt that it's a big accomplishment because so far this is the hardest exam I have ever taken in my whole life as a nurse.
I know it's really overwhelming and it's an explainable feeling whenever you succeeded for this type of exam. And may I ask for your educational background and your working experiences leading up to your NCLEX preparation?
So I was educated in the Philippines. I graduated many years ago, which I cannot remember even. My first job was in a medical center in Bangkal, Makati for like a month. And then I was like company nurse in Dusit Hotel Nico for a few months. And then I said salary in the Philippines is not enough. So when one of my friend came from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, he came for vacation. I asked him, Kuya, how would I apply to your hospital? So he gave me the details. And then at the age of 22, I went to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and I worked in Dala Hospital. It's in cardiac telemetry. Well, during the time, I just only knew sinus tachycardia, bradycardia, and so on and so forth. So, and then I learned from the basic to the complicated one. And those experiences helped me a lot in preparing for the NCLEX. So I spent 2 years, almost 3 years of my life in Riyadh. And then I went to Dubai. And then I transferred to Abu Dhabi in a long-term care facility. In Dubai, I was in acute care setting in adult ICU and CCU, and we are oftentimes floated in the cardiac cath lab. So when Sir Jay is giving the lectures, I really appreciate it very much because I said, this genius, he has very deep understanding with the concept. He knows what he's talking. So I really enjoyed his lecture as well as Sir Emil. Yeah, and then I came to Canada in 2018 as a permanent resident with bringing with me two kids, 10 and 2 years old, and in Montreal. Yeah, under the Quebec Skilled Worker Program. While I was alone, I was doing all by myself, everything, responsibility with the two kids. I arranged for my papers, everything. There's a lot of things to be done from the licenses outside the country to be endorsed to Ordre d'Infirmier du Quebec. It took a while. I opened the file. I spent 730 Canadian dollars to open the file. And then finally, I got the decision. They have, as an internationally educated nurse, they have to compare your equivalency based on Canadian standard. So other nurses, they will need to go to school for like 6 months as bridging program. With my experience, I don't need it. I just need a 30 days decision in a hospital clinical setting to practice. And then if I'm able to demonstrate the expected of a nurse, and then I will be considered as a CEPI. It's like a graduate nurse in Canada, awaiting for the license. You still have to do the exam. So for the time being, I set a goal for myself. Like when I came here, it was winter. I don't have car. I don't have driving license yet. It was so difficult, to go to the store to get groceries. I cannot afford to get a taxi every day, bringing my 10-year-old to the welcoming class. It's not easy. I'm speaking about minus 17, minus 20-degree temperature at that time. So I told myself, in 6 months, dans 6 mois, je vais avoir un permis de conduire au Quebec. I will have my driving license here in Quebec. So it's not easy. You have to pass the knowledge test. There are 3 categories. When I did the exam, I passed the 2. I failed the 1. So I need to rebook again for another exam. And for the second time, I passed the third one because it's entirely different here. You have to consider the snow and so on and so forth, which I had never encountered in the UAE. So, and then I went for the road test. Gladly, I passed at first attempt. So I got my driving license. I got the car. It's so difficult to be alone here. I cried many times, Sir Jan, believe me. And then you have to bring your kid to the school, doctor's appointment, parent teachers meeting, and so on and so forth. And the school, every government department, they will communicate with you in French. So how is this possible? It's difficult to learn the language. I am good already in the UAE. I'm speaking the language. Now I'm in a different part of the world. So I enrolled myself with MIFI. It's the Ministère de l'Immigration et Francisation du Québec. So for the time that I'm not working, the government is very generous. They will support you on this matter. There is you will receive some allowance and also your kid going to school or daycare. This is what I love about Canada. I haven't worked for like years, and that's a big help. It's really a big help for the family.
This is
But
very good information for us, most especially to those classmates or here at IPAS who are willing to transfer to Canada very, very soon. At least they'll be able to get some information coming from you, Miss Nancy. So, Miss Nancy, how far in advance did you start preparing for the NCLEX?
Oh, I have learned about IPASS through one friend. She's working here. She's originally from Davao. And I asked her, is there any online review? Because for the NCLEX, before that, I was working in CUS. This is
Mm.
Center West de Ile de Moriel, and they have 3 hospitals. So I was accepted to do my stage. So I'm just continuing the story. I was accepted to do my stage. It's like internship. You remember I spoke about the 30 days,
Mhm.
clinical. So I got accepted after passing the interview in St. Mary's Hospital. Everything was okay. They will tell you all the lectures. Oh mon Dieu. It's all in French. So they're discussing about documentation, the code of ethics, infection control, everything en français. So I was able to do it. Sometimes there are some medical terms, that I couldn't say it in French. I'm saying it in English, but they understand. And then when I went to the bedside, I worked there for like 4 weeks. It was okay, although the things that I am expecting to be here in Canada, it's not the way that we have in the UAE. In the UAE, I work in a JCIA accredited hospitals, tertiary hospitals, and they have very high standard. It's a word standard. They have separate, for the infection control, the quality, as the same in the US. But I didn't see that one here. So, and then Montreal, as you all know, it's a place for a lot of immigrants. So one day I had this patient, old man. I was assigned in medical surgical, the 5th floor. So it's a mix of all cases there. You will find psychiatric, medical, those
Mhm.
wounds, which I have never taken care before because I was in the ICU and I was cardiac ICU, so the patient will come and go. So I had this Arabic patient, so I was talking to him. Everything went well because he was agitated. I'm speaking to him in his language. I'm the only one who calmed him down. But the next day, I had this French patient, and that time, my conciliar, that's like the professor, you could say, they are the one, handling this IEN, International Educated Nurses
Mm.
program for the stage. And it started nice, as I greeted him, vous allez bien, est-ce qu'il y a de l'or? And then I want to give medication or something like that. How would I explain it? It's very easy to explain the medication for the interaction, but in English, it's no problem. But in French, how would I? You know. So that's the challenge. And then she told me, this is not the place for you. On that day at 12, they called me. Okay, Nancy, come. We decided that we will end your studies today. You will need some more classroom, learning.
Mhm.
And I said, okay. I was devastated. I was at my lowest. Why I have given up my Francisation. I was okay there. It's like 2 weeks already. We will finish the course and I will get my diploma. But then it stopped just like that. So I said, okay, you have closed the door for me. I'm gonna enter through the windows, and there are many windows open there. So I went home. I was crying for like a few minutes, and I said, if you stumble and you will not get up, who would help you if you won't help yourself? So I get up. I said, I remember what Jenny said. I pass. So contacted the IPASS. I prepared for I did everything as what they say. So I would like also to give thanks to IPAS processing. They're very professional because when they asked me my address in the Philippines, I don't have address in the Philippines. I was away for like half of my life. So I gave the address of my parents when we were filling up the F2F form for New York. And then after a while, I realized when they sent another communication again, they told me that once you get your license, New York will send it to your address in the Philippines. I said, what? New York is just 4 hours away from me. Why would they send a certificate to the Philippines and my mother, who's living in like a village in the Philippines, will send me to Montreal? So I said, can you please change my address? Then we changed again the address. And also with a passport, because I said I'm Canadian citizen, so I gave my Canadian citizen passport. But initially, they would like the Philippine passport. I have still valid Philippine passport, but since I became Canadian last year, that would be annually cancelled unless I have to apply again dual citizenship, something like that. I have to do the allegiance again for Philippine. But technically, right now, I'm Canadian. So thank you, IPASS, for for the miscommunication, and they handled very well. They're very professional in what they do, and I'm not yet finished with IPASS processing because I passed my NCLEX in June 11. I received my certificate in June 28 or 29. So far, I don't have plan to move to New York because it's difficult to again move the family from one place to another. I have seen how difficult it was for my son. He was 10 when I took him from Dubai. He has friends already, and I put him to Montreal. He was crying for a few months. Now I will be moving him again. No, I wouldn't do that. He's already acquainted with the place. His French accent is very good, like normal Quebecois.
Wow.
Yeah. So since July 4, me and IPASS are working with to transfer my New York license to Alberta.
Thank you for trusting IPASS, Miss Nancy, in processing your papers. And again, after you pass the exam, you can still continue the service that IPASS will provide, such as your transfer of license to Alberta. So it will be at least easier for you to process your documents. And when did you start or enroll with the online review?
I received the email to log in for IPASS. That was in September 2, I think. I was in my friend's class, so I couldn't just go with the flow, with the schedule for the online review at the time because there's so much things to do. September 2.
September 2. So you passed your exam on June 11, so you have at least more than 6 months of preparation.
I would say that no, because I only started seriously with IPASS. You can say that in January. I have the IPASS.
Mm.
I have the access for the online academy, but I just started with for the beginners, because if you will go to the live lectures immediately without, there's this thing that how you will start, for the
Mhm.
new enrolled nurses. So I go over step by step on those process, and then there's this orientation like that for the recorded videos, the anxiety management, those on the basic level. Yeah,
Yeah.
started. And it
You
took
met.
time considering that I have a family. Here's how my schedule looked like during those times. So Lundi a Vendradi, that's Monday to Friday, I'm in full time. So that's 8:45 until 3:30. To June, I'm in French class. And then I would come home. I have a family. I have to recuperate my face in the gardery. I will bring him. I will give bath, feed him, and so on and so forth. And then I will have time only like the evening after 7 to study. And there's a lot of things in the beginning for the new nurses. There's so much things in there. And we have also like activity in the French class. You have to do the reporting. They wanted you to speak. They wanted you to learn the grammar. And then I'm working also sometimes in the weekends. It's 36 hours, surgeon. So it's not easy. Plus, I am a Christian and I have a regular share in the ministry. We help people to learn about the Bible, to learn about our Creator, that God has a personal name. It's like you, John, and me, Nancy, and even the smallest insects has a name. And our Creator's name is Jehovah or Yahweh. And the Bible, that revealed in the Bible. And although the Bible, many Bible translation, they remove that divine name and they replace it with the title Lord, capital, or the Almighty or the Sovereign. If you will read the preface of your Bible, that's in the first, it will explain there the divine name. It's there exactly. And we help people also to understand, important life questions using the Bible. Like, for example, why do bad things happen? the wars going and why there's so much suffering. And the answer is First John chapter 5, verse 19. It's because the ruler of this world is the word, and I quote, the whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one. It's Satan, the devil, but that won't be forever. And why do people die? The answer is Romans chapter 5, verse 12. Because of the sin that we inherited from Adam, and that through sin. And so that spread to all men because they have all sin. And what does the Bible say about our future? There's a bright future that awaits us. Revelation 21, 3 and 4. No more death, no more suffering. And what happens to our dead loved ones? Many of us have our loved ones died already. Many people believe that they are in heaven. They're looking at us. But what does the Bible says? And I quote Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5. The dead know nothing at all. They have no share, anything under the sun. But there's a beautiful things awaiting for our dead loved ones. John chapter 5, verse 28 and 29. They will soon get resurrected. So we study the Bible, we answer those important life questions that many of us doesn't want to, we wanted to know, but many of us, we don't spend time studying the scriptures. And even sadly, many of us, many do not believe that there is a creator. There's a lot here in Canada. What do you call them? Atheists? No? But these are all very important. In relation to NCLEX, yeah, success is just success, but there's something more in there, more beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that, Ma'am Nancy. Please continue to inspire more people to get what your vision will be. I mean, is to get more people to understand what you want them, like the Creator, or is it Jehovah? Is it correct? Yeah, for them
Yes.
to know the name of the Lord,
Yes.
which
And
is
his son
Jehovah.
is Jesus. Yeah. And his son is Jesus. We are Christians, Sir John. Yeah. We are Christians and we follow what Jesus do when he was on earth. He do his ministry. He went in public places, in house to house. He teach about kingdom. This is what we pray for. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So his name is Jehovah, but many people doesn't know and they don't use it. So I encourage everyone, friends, nurses, you will see us in every places, believe me. So if somebody knocking on the door, you will see them in the cart, in the metro. Just listen to what they say. They are nice people. Yeah, and they don't force. They won't convert you guys. They wouldn't. They just wanted to speak to you about life in the future, about our life now. They will share the hope that we all have because our God is impartial. No matter of what nationality you are, what race you are, God loves us. He opened the way for us by sending His Son. Yeah,
Continue
and
to be
I'm
the
happy.
instrument, Ma'am Nancy, and you're really doing great in what you're doing. So you also doing this activity and studying at the same time and learning French in your
Wait.
daily life. How are you able to manage your time effectively while studying?
It's not easy, Surgeon. Believe me, there are times that I wanted to give up. My brain is just like overwhelmed. I said it's too much. So I prayed and then I get calm. And after that, I said I have to make a systematic schedule for myself. This day, for example, Sunday, once a week, I do the laundry. And then there's a schedule for bringing the kids to the school. I have 3 boys, so different ages, 15, 8, and 2 years old. And the 8 years old, he has the condition. It's called ADHD and autism spectrum level 1, and he's on medication. So this boy, you look at him, he is normal, but he is not. He has a condition. So that's the one brought me so much challenge because you need to spend time with them, with the teenager, with the ADHD, and with the 2 years old, completely dependent. So I told my husband, I cannot do it all by myself. I really wanted, this to finish and pass this exam because what work will I do for all my life? I'm working as a nurse. I don't know how to clean the house. A lot of nurses, they would come here, they would find a job like this it's not related to nursing. I don't know how to clean the house, the caregiver job is tough. The pay is less. So I wanted to do the things that I know how to do, and that is being a nurse. So he helped me with the household chores. He cooked. He takes care of the baby. He will sleep with him because it's not easy. It's not really easy. 1 month leading to my exam, I would like study until 1 o'clock, 2 a.m. And then again, I would wake up. I would watch the Hope Talk at 7 o'clock
Wow.
because watching the Hope Talk, Sir John, it really helps you a lot. You will understand from each student how they succeed in passing the NCLEX. Each one has different story. Somebody has lost their loved ones. Somebody has got financial issues. I didn't have those, but I have another different challenges. And I hope that those challenges will inspire another student as well. There's one student here, she's enrolled in Ipas. She's from the 12th or 13th cycle. She lives also here in Montreal, Jared. So she started. I've known her from the chat box. She said that she's from Montreal, so I communicated with her. And when I passed the exam, I shared her because I'm so joyful. I said, "And you will be the next." Then she told me she stopped. She got bored midway. So for sure, there are a lot of Jared in here. They started, but midway they got bored or they get tired. So I would say that NCLEX is just like a marathon, guys. You started, you have to finish, or else you will get the prize. Even that is a consolation prize. You have to go to the finish line, nurses. It's like driving far. Last week, we've been to the Atlantic. We visited Fredericton, Halifax, and Charlottetown. It's very far. We are speaking here 1,000 kilometers away from Montreal to where I am situated right now. So if you put your destination, yeah, you will drive. Midway, you will stop several times to put gas. Maybe you need to eat or you go to the restroom. This is what travelers do. Yeah. So I would say that this is like NCLEX, guys. There are some things that will make you stop. You will make you pause rather, but you never stop. Yeah. Go to the restroom, in the figurative restroom, take meal while, put gas, full tank. But then again, continue your journey towards your destination until you'll get your certificate. You'll see your name there in the narcissist.com. The feeling is unexplainable once you see your name there and your license number. So finish your destination, okay?
I agree with you, Ma'am Nancy, and thank you for highlighting having some spiritual guidance will really help you to continue in studying NCLEX. Like what you said, some of our students will stop because they get bored. But remember, our goal is to become an international nurse, whether in USA, Canada, and Australia. And I know how important the support system is. Like your husband is doing the household chores besides yourself. Is that right?
Yes. He's
And
a
we are
good
very,
cook.
I mean, we are really thankful for those people who have supported us along the way in times of difficulty because reviewing the NCLEX is not easy. You have to sacrifice a lot of things: time, blood and sweat and tears, time for your family and your kids, most especially. And attending the Hope Talk is one of my reasons as well in probably help me in passing the NCLEX is because I get inspired and be motivated with the stories that they are sharing. I thought I'm the only person who's going through so much, but no, it's not. Other people have been going through in the deepest ocean that you can think of. I mean, if you know what I mean. And then
Yes,
thank
I
you for
understand.
providing advice in inspiring and encouraging our students in continuing their NCLEX because I know it's really hard. You will get some time to doubt yourself whether you can still make it. You also think of some things that whether you can, is this really my journey? You have a lot of questions to yourself. But again, don't give up in everything that you do. You're just one step closer to success. Like what Ma'am Nancy did. She did not stop. She just paused and
Yes, true.
continued the marathon. That's a great example, Ma'am Nancy. Can you discuss your overall preparation approach and your resource management in tackling NCLEX?
First, my approach is I would say that I brought here the piggy bank. This
Oh,
is a
wow.
piggy bank for, yeah, this is a piggy bank for my son. So every time he has a coins, he would put in this piggy bank. So now it's a little bit heavy. So you know that there's quarter, loonies, toonies, cent dollar, this dollar. Even my sister one time she put there cent dollar. That's $100. So this one has there's valuable money on it. So in relation to NCLEX, I would say that study every day, consistent, even just 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, online review, reading. You consider those. It depends on the quantity. It depends on the quantity. Sometimes you spend only like 30 minutes. Consider
Mm,
that as quarter. You spend more. Consider that as a loonie. You know, we call it loonie, the $1 coin. Toonies,
mm.
the $2, and $5, $5. You know, it depends. But in the end, every time you store in your piggy bank, and on the day of the NCLEX, you will break your piggy bank.
Wow.
And yeah, so that was it. That's my approach. Every day I see to it that I have, if I need to wake up early morning or stay late at night, I would put something in my piggy bank. So that depends again with my schedule. I will adjust my schedule accordingly, but I am consistent that every day I made sure that there's something I'm putting in my piggy bank, and that really helped me on my NCLEX. On that day, I broke my piggy bank, and I stopped, guys, at 85. My computer stopped at 85.
That's a great way to start, Miss Nancy, because you really have to provide a study schedule on your own that allocated time each day for different subjects and ensure that you have covered everything without cramming. So when you started studying since January, you made sure that by the time on June 11, you'll be able to pass the exam because you have
Yeah.
somehow did your mastery concept. Your routine is like how many hours per day you're studying. Let's say it's 2 to 3 hours. It doesn't matter. So you have to wake up in the morning, take short breaks, and review the notes in the evening again. So in this way, you will have active recall and repetition. Is this what you did,
Yeah.
Miss Nancy?
Yes, yes, sir. That's what I did. I did, but I put a lot on my piggy bank during the last month leading to my exam. Yeah, because January to March or May, I'm still in my stage, as I said, and that's full time. I'm working like every day. The shift will start at 7:30 until 3:30. Sometimes I go home at 4. So I was in full time work. I was doing my ministry. We have a midweek meeting in my congregation twice in a week. I have my family responsibility. But then again, as I said, it depends on my availability. I would put information in my piggy bank. And for with regards to the resources, I'm really grateful to my colleague, Sir Fred, Alfredo Ilustrisimo. I've known
Hmm.
him through the chat box. He also lives here in Montreal. He was more senior than me. They started earlier. I belong to Cycle 11, but when I got the details for my Moodle account, they're already like half finished. They finished the mid cycle of mid 11 already. So they're chatting their answers. I'm a newbie. I feel like I don't know anything. My classmates, woof, they know everything. I said, wow. I'm like, but then again, for fellow students like me, now they disable the chat box. So yeah, we cannot like chat each other anymore. But do not compare. Do not compare because each student has their own time. You consider them like you are in a school, they put you all together. Somebody's on already in CJEP. The other one is in the elementary. You might be in prematernal or maternal, you
Mm-mm.
know. So we are different. So you don't look at the others. Just focus on yourself. They know more than do, but believe me, you know something that they don't know.
I agree with that, Ma'am Nancy. Really don't have to compare yourself with your progress because they have different timeline. Probably they have started earlier than you. So maybe they have gained
Yes.
more information than you are. But again, this is just the beginning of your journey. So you have to trust your journey and enjoy it. So no matter what circumstances or challenges that you are facing, remember the goal is to pass the
So
NCLEX.
yeah, so I would thank Sir Fred. He was very helpful to me. He shared me the La Charity. So I read that one and the Mark Klimek audios. Yeah, I remember it was like Holy Week. Me and my family, we went to New York. So it's like 4 or 5 hours from here. So during those 5 hours, I made sure that I was like listening to Mark Klimek again and again. I didn't waste time, guys, as we are moving from one place to another, or I'm cooking, or once in a while we do camping because our my family, we are outgoers, we love to travel, we go fishing and everything, all this kind of stuff. So I don't want to deprive my kids from what they do as I'm preparing my NCLEX. So if I'm not able to go to my laptop or watch the recording or something like that, I made sure that you know I value the time I'm listening to the audios like that, and that really helps multitasking. Yeah, don't waste time.
Thank you for highlighting that, Ma'am Nancy. And apart from those, did you avail any question banks during your NCLEX review?
Yes, I availed U-Word again through IPASS with a discount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I availed for 3 months. I activated it on March 15. But then again, because I'm still working at that time, I cannot access. That's why I told myself, I have all these resources. Other student, as far as I know, they have to share with somebody, or they only rely on iPass. No, for me, no. I have everything.
We have Sir Mark Zaspa, our guest tonight. Good evening, Sir Mark. We have Miss Nancy around.
Hello, Nancy. And
Hi,
no,
Sir Mark, finally.
I remembered kasi you were there doon how you call this webinar last time, no? So, ayun, as promised, sabi ko I'll drop by dito sa Hope Talk mo ngayong July 10th. Anyway, it was nice hearing sentiments mo, no? I can really feel I mean, you're really good at balancing things and especially yung time with family, and it's something na na mahirap talaga i-balance ng mga nagre-review, and we're happy, no, that you are here telling how you really emphasize the importance of balancing things out, no? Ayun, and of course, I'm so happy. Ayan, you're one of our students na andiyan sa Canada. So hopefully we'll inspire more students na nasa Canada naman. And of course, those who are planning to go to Canada. Ayan, so sana they will say naman, bonjour, hi soon.
Oh, oui, bien sûr, bienvenue au Canada. Shout
Yan.
out to Bren Pilar. She's my batchmate in college way back many years ago. So for those students who are on their 40s, which I am, you can make it. I was watching one time a Hope Talk with somebody who passed the exam. She's already passed over the age of 60. And really that inspired me a lot. So I said, if she did it, I will make it. And now that I'm giving the Hope Talk for my colleague nurses, age is just a number, believe me. I have worked in a hospital here in Canada. They don't care about the age. She looks like, well, she's not a Filipino. She's from other nationality. She's 78, guys, and she's still working and kicking, you know. So age is just a number. And for Canadians, especially women, it's rude to ask them their age. Yes,
Really?
unless you have already a relationship, with them.
You have mentioned earlier, Miss Nancy, that you have availed the UWorld question banks. Can you share to us, to our classmates, the importance of having or availing the question banks, and how did this help you in utilizing your clinical judgment when answering practice questions or the NCLEX exam?
When you do the Q&A for the Q banks, you will know your strength and weaknesses. So based on that, you have a plan on which area you will keep focusing on. And of course, if you found out that you're already good in this area, you have to maintain it. You don't want that you're here already and you will drop when you are in front of the computer in the person view. But you will give more emphasis on your lower score. And in the beginning, don't be disappointed. I was disappointed with my initial assessment. I said, will I pass the NCLEX? I'm I was borderline or low, something like that. You are this difficult, but you will get there. As when it's like going to the gym, it's difficult in the start, but once you make a routine, you're doing it like twice a week, which I just started going to the gym, then it will become more easy to do the question bank. And you will notice, from that low borderline, it will ascend going up there.
Thank you for sharing, Miss Nancy. And with that, we would like to present to you your IPASS certificate. So this is another certificate for you. I know you just received your certificate from New York a few days ago. So this certificate is proudly presented to Nancy Domingo Padilla for successfully passing the NCLEX RN examination. This serves as a proof that a successful candidate indicated in this certificate is a safe nurse based on the USA Standards of Nursing Practice, signed by Sir Jay Padang and Sir Mark Zaspa. Congratulations, Miss Nancy. Or let's say,
Oh,
felicitación. Aba.
oh, merci beaucoup, Sir Jean. First, I would like to thank, of course, Sir Mark Saspa. His anxiety management really helped me a lot on the day of the exam. And that Pomodoro technique that he made, it really helped because I tell you guys, when I was doing my preparation for the NCLEX, I get tired so many times. I was burned out. But whenever I wanted to study, but my brain doesn't want to accept. So what I do, I take rest. He's doing a lot of research. That's why I call him genius. I owe you big time, Sir Mark. You're the best in what you do. So keep going.
Natouch
Thank
naman
you.
ako dun. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Sir Mark. And to my coach, my initial coach is Coach Ann. When we did the initial coaching, and I said when the camera was open, I said, "Wow, I'm not joining a beauty pageant. Why she's my coach? I'm taking the NCLEX." She's so gorgeous, Coach Ann. And not only her physical, she has a big, beautiful heart. Really, you will see in her that she wanted you to succeed. She wanted to help. And yes, she helped me to find a solution in my time management. Yeah, and then later on, for the second coaching, our schedule didn't meet because I was really tired from roaming in Manhattan, and we climbed that Brooklyn Bridge with my family, and I get tired when I went back to the hotel, and she had some emergency. So I'm so happy that she canceled the hook talk. And then finally, endorsed me to Coach Jamie. So Coach Jamie also is she's so very patient. She has that angelic voice, so pleasant to hear. And yeah, everybody helps me, really. I tell you guys that this success is not only mine. I share you this success. And I would like to give thanks really to all the lecturers, yeah, for IPASS. Sir Emil, 2 days leading to my exam, I was watching his lecture on critical care. So it's like I have that experience many years ago. It's like they put me back in that ICU bed again, and I got familiar with what they're talking about. That's why I enjoyed really their lecture, and I messaged him to say that really I thank him for his excellent lecture, and I mentioned that I'm going for exam in 2 days. On that day of my exam, I read his message. He told me that sure na yan, ma'am. I was on my way to Pearson. When he told me that sure na yan, ma'am, I get that confidence that yeah, you know, I will do it and I can do it because they will teach you everything. So when I was doing this exam in the NCLEX, I'm sorry. So it's like in the Skylon Bridge in BC. It's that's the highest bridge. The Skylon. the walking bridge in Canada, 426 feet high. And you are crossing that bridge and you're so scared because it's too high. And all the lecturers, they are on your sides. Like whenever the computer will give you the whatever topic, they are there. Sir Jay, Ma'am Rosana, Ma'am Paula, Ma'am Jem, Ma'am Christine, Ma'am Haya, everything was there. Yeah. And so I made it. Yeah, at 85. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
Miss. Thank you, Miss Nancy, for trusting IPASS Processing and IPASS Online Review and Mentoring Academy in helping achieving your Canadian dream very, very soon. And we have the privilege of having Sir Jay Padang with us tonight before he starts his lecture. Good evening, Sir Jay.
Good evening, John. Good morning here in the North America.
Good
Ma'am
morning.
Nancy was mentioning, yeah, she's in Canada, right?
Hi,
Ma'am
Sir
Nancy,
Jay.
hi, hello, good morning. I know it's morning there. I don't know which time zone are you, but yeah,
It's Eastern Standard Time, so it's 7:56 a.m.
Okay, so like 1 hour ahead from us here in Texas. I wasn't really like I did not start the Hope Talk, but yeah, I was able to listen to what you said about the anxiety management. So the reason why, the idea came, that anxiety management, the idea came because, I mean, for sure, everybody knows that anxiety is really killing us, in taking exams like this NCLEX. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of nurses that are really, brilliant. They're like cum laudes and so on, but they fail. They are unsuccessful because of anxiety. I've known a lot of people like that from the time that I started review in NCLEX. That's why I realized that we need to have some kind of like, an anxiety management stuff like this. And even the coaching and mentoring. Kasi of course, we have the IPAS online, and then we have to do something about the anxiety stuff, and especially during the preparation all throughout the way. That's why we have the online and at the same time the mentoring academy. And then to those who are listening right now, like still aspiring to become USRNs, yeah, so we have a lot of armies, kumbaga, no, to really help our students in their preparation. Anxiety. You know what? Ito importante kasi ito talaga eh. So if I remember it right, Thomas Jefferson said the most advantage that you can have in all circumstances, probably the greatest advantage, from others, is your coolness. You know what I mean? Like unruffled with any circumstances. Like cool ka lang ba, no? And that's not gonna happen if you have, of course, if you have your anxiety. So yun yung magiging advantage natin. So that's why we have this kind of, we have this kind of program. So malaking super super malaking tulong yan sa atin lahat. Okay, so I think Miss Nancy was able to get it. When we were able to take the exam, Ma'am Nancy?
June 11, sir, dito sa
June, bago
Montreal.
lang pala. So it's so fresh. But you know what? You're not gonna forget it. Like even
No.
until now, it's still it's nostalgic. The
Yes.
feeling when I went to when I not really the preparation, but it was more on the feeling of like going to the exam center, and then especially the time that I got my pass result. So that was like, oh, this is really different. And then it was kind of interesting because when I got my result, actually it wasn't really the result at first because the Pearson view trick and stuff, it was really a bad pop-up or something ganun. So sabi ko, this is different. So I said like, well, I was playing loose during that time because I had a lot of circumstances going on. So I didn't really care if I pass or fail. Parang ganun yung situation ko that time. But yeah, it was a bad pop-up. And then yeah, it's a bad, somebody's told me it's a bad pop-up. So, you failed or something like that. But you know what? So after a few hours, then I got my result that, yeah, no, it's not. I passed the exam. So there you go. So it was really a feeling of like, this is really a fulfillment because regardless of my circumstances during that time, I was able to make it. It's all worth it. And then I knew that, well, sometimes my standard is really high to the point that I'm telling myself that you did not prepare well. So, just play loose or something like that, but it's not. So I did well. I worked hard for it. When I look back at my preparation, yes, I did to the point that I enrolled in a review center, and then like 4 hours to 6 hours of rationalizing 75 item of questions that you answered in the morning. So that's a lot, and that was every day. So I guess that, I guess if you didn't work hard for it, if I didn't like rationalize it for like 4 to 6 hours for just few 75 questions, I guess I'm not gonna I'm not gonna make it for sure. But yeah, so I was able to make it. So I actually in 1 month I was able to answer like 1,000, I mean 2,000 questions. I used UWorld before. I used UWorld. That's why I'm really familiar with how they do things, especially in the rationalization. So that's why I really like UWorld. So I think I purchased it like 3 months, but I was able to finish it in, I guess, in like 1 to 2 months, and then I repeated, the, let's say, 1,000 to 1,500 questions in a span of 1 month, 1 month before my exam. So that was, yeah, that was really good. And then of course I did not just rely on New World. I also made some like notes from the review center and then other resources. But you guys, please don't get too much resources. Like 3, 4 resources is fine. Some of our students, some of our passers actually only got their I mean they only use the IPASS materials. So I guess, if you think that it's sufficient enough, then that's fine. But sometimes you feel like, it's not sufficient. So get your. So if you feel like, it's super expensive, it's challenging you financially, the preparation, I guess you can get another like cheaper, like a Q banks or something. But yeah, so there's always a way. There's always a way. As long as you want the job done, and then I guess you're okay. Like, this NCLEX. I know it's gonna be challenging, but there's always a way. There's always a way. As long as you want it, as long as you put conviction on it that I can make it. And I guess Miss Nancy is right now doing the Hope Talk. Probably later on, probably in few weeks time. I guess you'll be the one to do the Hope Talk. Right? So yeah, this is the very purpose of Hope Talk. So giving you hope, inspiration that someday, of course, you'll be with us doing the Hope Talk together with Jan and the rest of our, IPAS community. This is a community, guys. So I guess even if you're still preparing, you are part of the community. And it's really a nice feeling when I see people like, passing the exam and then texting me or messaging me that, sir, I passed the exam. And then you are my inspiration or something like that. Yes, I appreciate that, really. So tama yung sinabi ni Miss Nancy na we are all there like surrounding you guys in the middle of some, scary situation. Like we're here, we're supporting you. So yes, thank you for coming by today, Miss Nancy, and then I hope you have a good one today. And I know you're gonna be a good nurse. I don't know. You can also practice here in the U.S. There's a lot of opportunities here. There in Canada. I guess I don't know. Australia is just
I
too
got
far from.
already offers, sir,
Oh,
for
that's good.
yes, for the US, but but
Oh,
when
really?
I talk to my family, my child who is already speaking French here, he doesn't want to relocate. So
Oh,
I have
that's
to
fine.
consider, it's not just my decision. I have to consider for the family as well. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a small word. In one way or
I know.
another, we will see each other, and I would wanted to thank you in person.
Oh,
So I look forward to that,
um,
whether here in Montreal or in the US. So, but Sir Jay, bienvenue à Montréal.
French ba yun, di ba? So I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
really.
You're very welcome to Montreal. Yeah,
Yes,
French.
ma'am. So just, I'll take note of that kasi we are planning to go to Canada anytime soon.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
Everyone, Sir John. Yeah, Sir Mark. Everyone. Yeah. I would wanted to give thanks to you in person.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ma'am Nancy.
Yeah. And
So
to
I
all
mean,
the
who knows?
IPAS.
I'll be able to go to Canada and then not only Miss Nancy, I can probably meet some of our guys there in Canada or let's say other states. I'm really looking
Sir
forward to.
Alfredo, Sir Paul Terence, they were all here. Yeah. Ma'am
Oh yeah,
Naomi
yeah.
is in Nova Scotia. Yeah.
I look forward to that. God willing.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
Mama Disola will come to New York very soon.
Was
Yeah,
it?
they were my comrade, Mama Disola. And Sir
Oh, okay.
Yakubu, he did his hope talk yesterday.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
did.
we're just like few days apart.
So we'll see. We'll find out, God willing.
Yes.
we'll see each other. Thank you, Ma'am Nancy. Super appreciated.
Merci beaucoup pour votre aide. Sir, I just wanted to say that bon professeur qui produit bon étudiant. So you are very good professors in the IPASS. You produce very good students.
Wow, thank you, Ma'am Nancy. I appreciate it. God bless you, really.
Thank you, sir. Merci beaucoup pour votre aide.
Thank you, Sir Jay. So, Miss Nancy, please continue to be the best version of yourself and reflect on how far you've come and the progress you've made. So, be proud of your journey and dedication you've shown. Remember the reasons why you chose this path and stay inspired. So, congratulations again, Miss Nancy.
IPASS processing made easy for you.